Michelle James with West Montana Homes, and this is your buyer's market report. So, buyers, I'd like to remind you of last year. Do you remember last year when you were saying, oh, well, I could buy, but prices are really high and they're going to drop. They have to drop. So I'll just wait until the prices come down. Well, now you're saying, oh, the interest rates are too high, but they'll come down. I swear they're going to come down, and then I'll buy. Well, a lot of buyers are probably asking, how do I win in the market? Well, here's the key. You have to stop looking to yesterday. The house prices that were last year, the house prices that were 5 years ago, those are gone. They're not coming back. And the interest rates of yesterday and last year and the year before, those are gone. They're not coming back. So what we had the option of in the past, we can't count on that ever again in the future. Now, I'm not saying that they can't ever happen, but we can't count on them. And there's nothing in historical market that tells us we should. You know, house prices always go up. You have seasons where it drops, but historically, they always go up, and you're always going to make equity in your home through increased pricing. Now, interest rates, if you look at the past, there was a season for lower interest rates because the federal government was trying to increase home sales because of such a dramatic crash in the housing market. They needed to restabilize banks and everything else so that they weren't always bailing them out. You know, our government is $1 trillion in debt trying to bail out our American businesses, and it wasn't working. So they had to stimulate the market. And the way they did that was dropping the interest rates. Well, that market is stimulated. So now they're saying, hey, the housing market is really fast. Inflation is going really quickly in the housing market. We need to slow that down. So what do? They raise the interest rates. And we've historically always had double-digit, high single-digit interest rates. So they're probably not going to bring them down again unless we have another crash or something that says they have to. That's a great source of income for our government that, I will remind you, is in debt and needs that income. So historically, looking at what was in the past and saying, I should have done that, is not the way you're going to win in the housing market today. Let's look at what's happening for our sellers and what's causing them anxiety and stress so that you know how to negotiate with a seller and meet the needs that they have. Well, if we just look in the last year, a year ago today, sellers were looking at a 20-day days on market. Now, just prior to that, they were looking at 2, 3, 4, 5 days on market. So steadily, the days on market has been going up. Well, now we're more than double than what it was a year ago. We're at 40 days on market. This is over a month. Now, in a month, sellers start getting nervous that they can't sell. Now, these are sellers who wanted to sell in a day, in a week. They expected to see that. And to be honest, some agents are still telling their sellers 10 days. That's not happening. But I have interviewed sellers who have told me that. So even the agents aren't catching up to the times. So what we're looking at is they have longer days on market, but they still have a short day on market expectation. So buyers need to be ready to help sellers feel confident in the close. There's a couple of things that you can do to do that. Now, most sales and closings do require some cash from the buyer. There are ways that you can buy without cash, and if you are in that position, call me. We can go through the different programs. We can talk about it, but that's a much longer discussion than what I want to get into in this housing report. If your sale requires funds, you want to produce a proof of funds letter. Now, this proof of funds letter is going to tell the buyers that you're willing and able that you are ready to buy a home. And what you put in the buy sell, saying that you'll need in funds, you can actually produce. Now, the other thing you're going to want to do is, because the interest rates are going up, sellers aren't confident that if you have to get a loan, you can actually achieve that loan. They think that most buyers have already outdated their interest rates. So you want a recently dated, preferably the same day, the day before, the same week, something very short in time that says that you are pre-approved for a loan and the dollar amount in which you're pre-approved. So if you're making an offer on a house for $700,000, you want that banker to say that you were approved for $700,000, or you are approved for this amount and you have proof of funds for the rest of that to equal at least $700,000. Now, I wouldn't overly recommend to go over that because you don't want to show all of your cards, but you do want to show enough cards that the seller knows you are ready, willing, and able to buy. You don't want them to have any doubts on where you're at in the purchase. Now let's talk about negotiating the best price for you. So sellers are starting to negotiate price. The sales price is averaging at 97.8% of the original list price. So that's 2.2% that buyers are gaining over the original list price. Now that includes price decreases and things of that sort. But this tells me that buyers really should start going in 3 to 5% under what is actually listed. Now, if you're going in at 5% under, you're not going to want to go that low on a house that has just gotten on the market today. But if it's been on the market 50, 60 days, go ahead and drop it 5%. So you do have twice the options today than you did last year. So because of that, you can be pickier. However, here's the bottom line. Interest rates are going to continue going up. The cost and value of houses are going to continue going up, even though we're going to see a little bit of a divot, and I really believe we will see a divot in the prices. Ultimately, they're going to continue going up. So if you want to buy a home, now is the time to buy. So give me a call, 406-370-3696, and let's go ahead and figure out how you can purchase your home in a way that wins for you. We can set up roadmaps, we can walk you through pre-approvals, we can walk you through proof of fundings, all the different things and aspects that are required to purchase a home so that you win in buying.